Hey everyone, welcome to Easter Jam. My name is Pastor Corey, and we're so thankful that you chose to spend your Easter with us today. Easter Jam is our family Easter worship experience that is for everyone in your home. And to be honest, we're a little bit bummed today that we're not with you face to face at Branch Kids, but we are going to make the best of it. We're going to play some amazing games. We're going to hear an incredible Bible story later, and we really do mean that we want everyone involved in this. So older siblings, get ready to help your younger siblings just have an incredible Easter. Younger kids, get ready for some amazing fun. And parents, get ready for a family Easter experience that you probably haven't experienced before. So here's the thing, we do want everyone. So if you need to pause the video and go find someone that's not actually ready to participate, do that, because we're going to get started in just 3, 2, 1, go.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
All right, welcome back to our first game. Now, one thing I know about Easter is there can be a little snack that can be kind of love or hate, and that snack is a peep. Now, if you're at home and you are a Peep fan, give me a thumbs up. If you're at home and you don't like Peeps so much, give me a thumbs down. Well, I can kind of see how it goes either way, right? They're kind of cute, but they're also kind of grainy. So who knows, right? But even if you don't like the taste of Peeps, you're going to want to play this next game we have. So what I need you to do is I need you to split your family into 2 teams. And both teams need just 1 Peep. They're also going to need a toothpick. And so what I want you to do is take your toothpick and you're going to get your Peep ready for battle just like that. So hang on, let me get my other Peep and get him ready for battle as well. So you stick them in like this, so they have kind of a sword or a lightsaber, depending on what kind of fan you are, right? And you're going to get a microwave safe plate and you're going to set them across from each other just like this. No social distancing needed here. You could even take the time before you start to decorate your Peep with a Sharpie or give it a fun name, right? But when you're ready, put them on the microwave safe plate, set them across from each other like this, and put them in the microwave and set the timer for 45 seconds. Now, you're not going to need the full 45 seconds, and you shouldn't wait the full 45 seconds, okay? So make sure you're paying attention, watch what happens, because whichever Peep stabs the other one first is the Peep that wins. And make sure that you're watching closely and get a picture of the finished product, because we want you to share that on social and hashtag EasterJam2020 and also tag Branch Life Church so that we can see the fun you're having at home. So take a minute, you can pause the video and go have some fun. So who won? I hope you guys had a great time and got some great pictures. Well, here's the deal. We have another game for you to play, and this time what you need are socks. You need lots and lots of socks, and it doesn't matter if they're clean or dirty. You are also going to need a laundry basket. So take a second, pause the video, and go get everything you need. I'll wait. All right, did you get your socks in your basket? I got mine. So here's what you do. You take your pile of socks and you're going to dump it on one side of the room. You're going to take your basket and you're going to put it on the other side of the room. We need 2 people to play over by the pile of socks, and we need 2 people to help keep score over by the basket. So here's what's going to happen. The 2 players that are by the pile of socks are going to scramble through the pile until they find a matching pair. So you might want to mix up the pile a little bit before you start. Once you find 2 socks that match, you're going to roll them up into a ball or something like an Easter egg, and you're going to throw them across the room into the basket. All right? So I'm going to give you a minute, pause the video, and get everything set up that you need. All right, everyone ready? Remember, the team who has the most matched socks in the basket at the end wins. When I say go, there's going to be a 60-second timer that pops up on the screen. Ready, set, go. So who won? Well, I hope you had an awesome time, and I hope you didn't break anything. You know, we're celebrating Easter today, and usually Easter is a time that we get to spend with friends and family. But we recognize that today, because of the circumstances, that just might not be happening. So, we wanted to give you a challenge that will help you reach out to some people that might be missing you just as much as you are missing them. So on the next screen, you're going to have a few challenges to choose from. And when we get there, I want you to pause the video and choose a challenge as a family to complete so that the people you're missing know just how much you're missing them. So, take some time and complete that challenge now. Well, welcome back. Now it's time for our story. And if you've never heard the full Easter story before, don't worry, because we're going to tell it all to you right now. You know, this Easter today is a little different than what we expected, and sometimes different can be frustrating or annoying. But that doesn't mean it can't be a happy Easter. And it's not just a happy Easter because of Peep Wars or because of Easter baskets or even Easter bunnies. But it's a happy Easter because of what happened on the first Easter. And what we're going to learn today in our story is that the first Easter didn't start off so great either. You know, this is probably the greatest story ever told, but it's also very simple. It's so simple it can be told with laundry.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts, and minds, and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear Him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and His disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome Him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest Him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted Him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with His friends, He told them that He would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest Him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent Him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have Him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release Him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of His own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then he died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely he was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took his body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now he was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down his life. Through God's power, he defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, he's promised to return, so we can live with him forever.
Wow, I hear that story every year, and it always amazes me. God sent Jesus into our world, and he overcame the worst thing that could possibly happen to us in this world. Because Jesus is alive, I know, and we can know, that with Jesus we can face anything that will happen to us in this life. Sometimes I like to use this phrase, "I can blank because Jesus is alive." Let me give you a couple of examples of how I fill that in. I can hope because Jesus is alive. I can love others because Jesus is alive. I can believe in Jesus because Jesus is alive. I want you guys at home to think about that. I want you to figure out how you personally or you as a family would fill in that blank. I can blank because Jesus is alive. Spend some time talking that over and decide how you would fill in the blank. Pause the video on the next screen and I'll be waiting here for you when you get back. Awesome. I love those conversations because when I remember what Jesus did in the past, it always helps me trust him with what's going on in life right now. And I hope that's true for you as well. We've got one more challenge for you before we go. And so what we want you to do is as soon as this video is over, we want you to go and take a family Easter picture together. Now, what that looks like is totally up to you. It could be silly faces, it could be smiles, it could be dressed up, it could be PJs. Whatever you want to do is the best option. But we want you guys to celebrate this Easter because this Easter is probably different than any other Easter before. And maybe now more than ever, it's the best time for us to celebrate God's faithfulness and the hope he gives us in Jesus. And after all, that's what makes Easter happy.
The greatest day in history. Death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. The empty cross, the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash face. I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same. Forever I'm changed. I'll never be the same. Oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious way. You have saved me, and oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious name. Oh, happy day, happy day. You wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I'll never be the same.